Chapter 310. Inside the training room, Yichen sat on top of the stone platform with his legs crossed. The half-step Jin Yuan inside his body was vibrating at a slight frequency. Each time it vibrated, the impurities inside the half-step Jin Yuan would decrease a bit. Correspondingly, the total amount of half-step Jin Yuan would decrease as well, but it was still not as much as when he had just reached late clasping Yuan realm. Of course, although the amount of half-step Jin Yuan had decreased, as the quality increased, his battling power would still increase. After a long while, the vibration disappeared. Bits of broken light shone out of Yi Chen's body, which took up almost half of his total. It meant that the first Jin Yuan purification had finished, and what he had right now was the true half-step Jin Yuan, which was still weaker than before. The first Jin Yuan purification has finished. There will still be some time before I can start the second one. But by then, I should have reached the 13th realm of the Green Lotus Sword spell. Letting out a sharp breath, Yi Chen's body released the aura of a powerful warrior. It was weaker than an astral reaching realm warrior, but obviously different from the aura of a clasping Yuan realm warrior. Standing up, Yi Chen waved his fist. The fist that contained half-step Jin Yuan tore apart the air, creating an ear-piercing sound. Before, when I was still weak, there was a huge gap between my normal attacking power and my extreme attacking power. But now, the gap is shrinking. Once I finish the second Jin Yuan purification, my whole body will be filled with Jin Yuan, and then there will be no extreme attacking power anymore. Burning my Jin Yuan will be the extreme attacking power. Just half-step Jin Yuan had already made Yi Chen feel what it meant to be powerful. Every inch of his body had been refined by the half-step Jin Yuan, and it had become extra tough. He could imagine how powerful his body would be after he reached the astral reaching realm. It would also explain why astral reaching realm warriors could burn their Jin Yuan, since burning their Jin Yuan would increase their battling power, which would be even more powerful than the minor blood demon body separating great art. Without a powerful body, one would not be able to handle it. Thinking of this, Yi Chen suddenly understood how terrifying a body-forging cultivation method was. Body-forging cultivation methods mainly focused on physical strength, and did not pay much attention to Jin Qi and Jin Yuan. However, there would still be Jin Qi and Jin Yuan in one's body, but it would be much less than other martial artists of the same level. However, a strong body would allow them to burn their Jin Yuan for a longer period of time, and it would not be easy for them to suffer a backlash. 3 days have passed. It is time for me to find the sky demon snake to practice with. It should not be easy this time. Battling power needed to be demonstrated in real battles. Looking for Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer was not suitable for him, and they would not satisfy his needs either. The sky demon snake with its strong defense was without a doubt the best training partner for him. Xiao. On the shocking cloud peak, Yi Chen extended his body and flew towards the Silent Hills. There was a vague black chi covering the entire Silent Hills. If one did not sense it carefully, one would not be able to sense it. Scanning with his soul power, Yi Chen could easily locate the sky demon snake's location according to the direction of the black chi flow, since it had not left its original spot at all. Strange. If it was once or twice, it would be understandable. But after so many times, it still does not plan to change its location. Is it waiting for me to go up there? Or is there something there? With suspicion, Yi Chen did not hide his chi at all as he flew over at an extreme speed. Deep inside the Silent Hills, there was a deep underground cave. This cave was indeed the nest of the sky demon snake. Cut! Taking out his Star Scar sword, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack. Crack! The 100-meter-long sword chi shot out, leaving a huge sword pit on the ground. The intense vibration had caused the cave to collapse. Moo! Shoo! 2 completely different beast roars were heard. Then, the ground cracked open, and a huge bull-like beast rushed out, followed by a 100-meter-long black snake with a sharp horn. It was indeed the sky demon snake that had the bloodline of the demon dragon. That bull-like beast should be the famous ghost-faced demonic cow in the Silent Hills. It managed to get the ghost-faced demonic cow to help. Unfortunately, its power was only equivalent to peak level early astral reaching realm, which was only slightly more powerful than Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. It would not be able to handle my attacks at all. Yichen did not know how the Sky Demon Snake managed to get the other tyrant of the Silent Hills, but one rank 7 beast would not affect him much, unless it was a rank 7 tyrant beast. Moo! The ghost-faced demonic cow attacked first. It stomped on the ground with its hoof, and a powerful beast chi shockwave attacked towards Yichen. Blood Demon Body Disintegration. A blood-red half-step Xin Yuan exploded from his body, and Yichen's battling power increased drastically. He cut open the beast chi shockwave with one sword attack and returned the attack back to the ghost-faced demonic cow. Pap! The sword chi was shattered, and the Sky Demon Snake used its tail to block in front of the ghost-faced demonic cow, blocking out the attack for it. However, it had underestimated the power of Yichen's sword chi, and the scales on its tail were all cracked open. Blood poured out of the wound, and it was not a light wound. All of you, get in. Green Lotus Sky. The first half of the Green Lotus sword art had been performed, and the surreal space had been frozen. Layers of chi flow formed a green lotus that spread out, covering both the ghost-faced demonic cow and the Sky Demon Snake. The next second, the green lotus turned into a sword rain and attacked on the two's bodies crazily, bringing up a clear clanging sound. The ghost-faced demonic cow's defense was not as powerful as the Sky Demon Snake's after all. It could not even handle the first half of the ace attack. Countless bone-deep sword marks appeared on its body, and it kept making a muffled moan. The Sky Demon Snake was furious. It opened its mouth and let out a black flame that could burn anything. The green lotus turned into a sword rain and was burned into ashes. The frozen surreal space had also been shattered, disappearing into nothingness. Green Lotus Accumulation. Cut! A fist-sized green lotus formed on the tip of the sword. Yichen waved his sword towards the ghost-faced demonic cow, preparing to take out one first. The ghost-faced demonic cow had never seen such a powerful clasping Yuan realm warrior. It regretted coming to help the Sky Demon Snake, but it was already too late. It had no choice but to use its hardest horn to block out the incoming green lotus, hoping that it would be able to block out the attack. Kacha! The ghost-faced demonic cow's horn was broken, and a huge amount of blood poured out of its mouth and nose. Die! The Silent Hills was not far from the Sky Cloud Martial School. A rank 7 demonic beast was a threat after all. It was hard to guarantee that it would not lose its mind and start to attack. Yichen planned to take care of it right here and now. He turned his body, avoiding the Sky Demon Snake's counterattack, and threw out a sword attack towards the ghost-faced demonic cow. The sword chi was like a pillar, and it was indeed the Kill Heart sword. Pooh! There was no way that the ghost-faced demonic cow could block out the extremely fast Kill Heart sword. A sword hole appeared on its stomach, and it was so cold that it felt like it had been killed. With its ally dead, the Sky Demon Snake went crazy. For the past 2 months, it had been wounded almost every day, and it was all thanks to Yichen. If it were not for him, it would have been killing everywhere, enjoying the experience brought by killing, and gradually activating the Demon Dragon bloodline inside its body. Once the potential of the Demon Dragon bloodline was activated to its limit, it would become a real tyrant of ranked 7 demonic beasts. It would be way more powerful than normal tyrants of rank 7 demonic beasts, and it would be ready to reach rank 8. Swoosh! The black flame spread out, forming a burning firestorm. Wherever it went, the ground was burned through, and the air was burned out, turning into a vacuum world. The Green Lotus Sky art might not be able to stop the black flame. I will have to attack with brute force. Taking a deep breath, Yichen jumped up from the ground. The mysterious Xin Yuan, no, it should be called the Green Lotus Xin Yuan. The Green Lotus Xin Yuan poured into the Star Scar sword through the meridians in his arm, pushing out a beam of blood-red sword chi. The blood-red sword chi sliced open the black flame, landing heavily on the Sky Demon Snake's forehead. Blood was pouring out of its forehead like a pillar, but the Sky Demon Snake did not care about it at all. Its body jumped into the black flame that it had spat out, and with the help of the flame, it threw out a tail attack. Yi Chen was too busy dealing with the black flame that could burn anything, so he did not have the time to dodge. He was smashed into the ground by the sky demon snake's tail. Originally, Yi Chen was planning to rush out immediately, but he sensed that the black chi under the ground was hundreds of times denser than the black chi on the ground. He was confused. Maybe this black chi is not coming from the sky demon snake, but something else? Because of the black chi flowing on the sky demon snake's sharp horn, Yi Chen had always thought that the sky demon snake was the main reason why the beasts in the Silent Hills had gone crazy. But right now, he had overturned his own conclusion. The thing deep under the ground was the real reason why the beasts had gone crazy. The sky demon snake could reach rank 7 beasts and recover at an extremely fast speed, and it was probably because of this thing. Without paying attention to the sky demon snake, Yi Chen released his soul power, flying towards the source of the black chi. Every time he saw something in the way, he would cut it open with his sword. The sky demon snake could not wait for Yi Chen to come out, so panic and anger flashed through its eyes. It twisted its body and dove into the ground, trying its best to reach the thing it was guarding. It was getting closer and closer. Yi Chen's soul power had finally scanned the source of the black chi. It was a flower, a black flower. The black flower was the size of a basin, and each of its petals seemed to be very heavy. It was releasing a very intense black chi, which was in the form of a mist at first. As time went on, it started to dilute into a gaseous form, and then slowly spread out, seeping out of the ground and onto the ground. So this is the thing that the sky demon snake was guarding? Why is there a heartbeat? Yi Chen tried to sense it carefully, and his expression changed. He could sense that the black flower was like a heart, vibrating rhythmically. The frequency of that vibration was similar to a heartbeat, but much stronger. Every time it vibrated, the soil around it would vibrate like a drum. It should not be a normal medicine. Let's pick it first. Yi Chen could tell that the black flower had already matured, and picking it would not harm the medicine. Plus, if he just left it there, the sky demon snake's wounds would continue to recover. Rumble. No one knew when, but the sky demon snake had caught up. Seeing that Yi Chen had discovered the black flower, it roared extremely shrilly. Its evil eyes were filled with killing intent, which was the killing intent of the demon dragon's bloodline. After such a long time of accumulation, that killing intent had finally exploded. The ground was burnt through, and the black flame turned into a horrifying demon dragon's shape, sweeping out. Even if it were Yi Chen, he would be killed immediately without any chance of survival. Chapter 311. Being underground, Yi Chen's dodging speed would definitely be affected. Seeing the black flame coming at him like an evil demon dragon, Yi Chen stomped on the ground with his back facing the black flower, holding his star-scar sword with both of his hands. Green Lotus Light. This attack focused more on defense than offense. A bathtub-sized green lotus appeared and gathered on the blade of the star-scar sword, covering Yi Chen's whole body. Boom! The black flame could burn anything, but the thickness and defense of the green lotus could not be underestimated either. All of a sudden, there was a subtle balance between the two. No matter how aggressive the flame was, it could not break through Yi Chen's sword attack defense right away, and could only slowly erode it. Seeing that its ace attack could not do anything to Yi Chen, a murderous light flashed through the sky demon snake's eyes. A black flame appeared on its tail as well, looking like a burning fire column. As it swept across, the air in the whole cave had been burned into nothingness, and the resistance had been reduced to an extreme. Boom! The green lotus exploded, and Yi Chen was blown away. However, this result was obviously within his expectation. As he was flying backward, he made a grabbing gesture in the air. That basin-sized black flower was pulled out by the roots, falling into his storage ring. Once the black flower disappeared, the black chi had become the source of everything. The first one to sense it was naturally the sky demon snake. It opened its mouth and let out an ear-piercing scream, which was filled with anger that it had never felt before. Yi Chen had stopped it from killing and trapped it in the Silent Hills, but it had not lost its mind yet. However, the black flower was its life, the key to its growth. Once it was taken away, it would be impossible for it to grow fast, which would be the same as cutting off its potential. Therefore, at that moment, the sky demon snake had completely lost its mind. The remaining black flame inside its body continued to pour out, covering Yi Chen and the cave. Break! Throwing out a sword attack, a tiny crack appeared in the black flame. Yi Chen pushed his separating shadow flying art to its limit. After flashing once, he jumped out of the crack and landed on the ground. The sky demon snake jumped right after him, carrying the burning flame towards Yi Chen. It looked like it would not stop until it was dead. No one could stop it. Let's see how long you can last without this flower. Since his green lotus Xin Yuan had been used up, Yi Chen could not hurt the sky demon snake with one attack. However, the black flame was not endless, so Yi Chen was not afraid of anything happening to himself. Stepping lightly on the ground, Yi Chen soared into the sky and turned into a wisp of black smoke. A man and a beast chased each other. Wherever they went, mountains would collapse, forests would be destroyed, and the ground would be plowed open with a 10-meter wide and infinitely long mark. Getting out of the silent hills, the sky demon snake suddenly gave up on chasing Yi Chen. Instead, it flew towards the nearby cities, its eyes filled with cruelty. Yi Chen was a little dazed, but he soon realized what the sky demon snake was thinking. It was planning to slaughter humans and force him to give up the black flower. If he could not do anything to it, then he would indeed be in a dilemma. If he did not give up the flower, then 1 or 2 cities would definitely be destroyed. If he gave up the flower, then he would be helping a tyrant. The brutality of the sky demon snake had been proven in history. Every time a sky demon snake grew up, countless creatures would be killed. This kind of beast was closer to a demon, and had a horrifying evil nature inside of it. This time, they had Yi Chen. Without him, no one knew what would have happened to the Sky Cloud Martial School. With just Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer, they could only delay it for a while. A rank 7 beast is coming. Run! There would be big and small battles happening outside the city every day. There were quite a lot of disciples from all of the big parties. Seeing the sky demon snake approaching them aggressively, everyone was shocked. It was impossible for them not to know how horrifying a rank 7 beast was. In fact, even an astral reaching realm warrior would not be able to compete with a rank 7 beast at the same level. Plus, this rank 7 beast seemed to be even more horrifying than the rumors. It was covered in black flames, looking like a demon that had just crawled out of hell. I was planning to spend more time with you. But since it is like this, then I will have to kill you now. Yi Chen looked cold. It was not that he could not beat the sky demon snake. Even without his green lotus Xin Yuan, the sky demon snake would still not be able to compete with him. At most, it would be a bit more troublesome. But before this, he had planned to use the sky demon snake as a long-term training target. Once he reached the astral reaching realm, he would be able to take it out easily. However, the sky demon snake's brutality and cunningness were still out of his expectation. It knew how to kill humans to force him to submit. Looking at the countless human warriors outside the city, the sky demon snake's pupils turned red. It had been a long time since it had seen blood. As a sky demon snake, killing was its instinct. Especially after reaching rank 7, its killing instinct had become harder and harder to control. It had been hiding in the silent hills, hoping that one day, it could grow up in blood. Boom! The ground had been shattered. The sky demon snake moved over quickly as it opened its mouth and shot out a beam of dark light. Blood explosion spell. Cut! Performing the ace movement of the minor blood demon body separating great art, Yi Chen's speed had been pushed to its limit. He appeared in front of the dark light and shattered it with one sword attack. The sky demon snake stared at Yi Chen brutally. As a beast, it had made up its mind to take back the sky demon flower. Even if it did not care about the fact that eating the sky demon flower would bring a huge backlash to its body, it still wanted to kill Yi Chen and his martial school. This was the consequence of pissing it off. Ha! You are looking for death. Yichen floated in the air as his 80% sword intent spread out. Combined with the half-step Xin Yuan that had been activated by the blood explosion spell, his aura had been pushed to its limit. It was as if his whole body had turned into a blood sword, and the surrounding air had also turned into a blood sword, locking onto the sky demon snake's every move. It is him. Outside of the city, there were 5 people who had noticed Yichen. These 5 people were none other than the 5 disciples from the Golden Light Martial School that Yichen had met when he first entered the Silent Hills as an outer disciple. The leading 2 people were Lu Tao and Wang Haichuan, followed by the girl in red, Yao Qing, and the twin brothers, Yang Wen and Yang Wu. Right now, Lu Tao and Wang Haichuan were both core disciples of the Golden Light Martial School, and they were both at the peak of the mid-condensing reality realm. The girl in red, Yao Qing, and the twins were all inner disciples at the peak of the early condensing reality realm. In the Golden Light Martial School, they had made quite good progress. Unfortunately, in the Sky Cloud Martial School, they would only be above average. They were not geniuses at all. This was the difference between a ranked martial school and a non-ranked martial school. Plus, the Sky Cloud Martial School was not something a rank 9 martial school could compare with anymore. It had the potential to become a rank 7 martial school. Lu Tao was shocked. Back then, his cultivation was not even as high as mine, but now he could already fight against rank 7 beasts. Could it be that he is the legendary genius in the Windy Nation? There were a lot of people with the same name in the Windy Nation, but none of them had ever associated Yichen with the legendary genius. Plus, after such a long time, they had almost forgotten about what had happened in the Silent Hills. They would never think that Yichen was the most talented genius in the Windy Nation, or even the South Rudra region. It has only been 4 years, and the gap has become so huge. Compared to before, the impulsive Wang Haichuan was much calmer now. His face was full of determination, and his battling power had surpassed Lu Tao. He was the backbone of the 5. Taking a deep breath, he calmed himself down first. Yao Qing made a face. It has been 4 years, and he has not even come to us once. What a heartless man. The twin brother Yang Wu forced a smile. If he had nothing to do, he would not have made it this far. Xiao Wu is right. The power of a genius comes with a price. We are not geniuses, but we are not as hard-working as him. The twin brother Yang Wen nodded. Yao Qing said, "Do you think he will just ignore us if we go to him?" Hearing her, the 4 of them forced a smile. They had only met Yichen by chance, and it was their honor to have fought alongside him. So, they would not dare to disturb him. Green Lotus Mountain. The blood explosion spell had increased Yichen's battling power by more than 80%. With one sword attack, he had wounded the sky demon snake. That blood-red sword chi left a horrifying sword mark on its body. Roar! The sky demon snake hid in the black flame and threw out a tail attack. Shadow explosion. Human shadows flashed as Yichen's real body appeared above the sky demon snake within a second. The ace movement of his green lotus sword art was thrown down. Crack! A bloody hole appeared on the sky demon snake's forehead, and blood kept pouring out. Piss off! His body flashed again, and Yichen appeared right in front of the sky demon snake's chin. He threw out a sword attack, and that blood-red, fire-like sword light appeared. It had blown the sky demon snake hundreds of meters away, creating a huge pit on the ground. It was dozens of meters deep and dozens of meters wide. He is completely dominating a rank 7 beast. So powerful. Of course. Yichen is the great master of our Sky Cloud Martial School. Hearing him, all the disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School looked proud. They felt lucky to be a disciple of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Right now, in the Windy Nation, which young generation did not want to join the Sky Cloud Martial School? The black flame inside the Sky Demon Snake's body was not endless. Without the Sky Demon Flower, it would be extremely hard for it to gather the black flame again. After all, it had just reached the level not long ago, and did not know much about the power of a rank 7 beast yet. There was just too little information about the black flame. Without the black flame, the sky demon snake had completely become a powerful rank 7 beast. Its defense was only equivalent to a rank 7 tyrant beast, and its overall power had dropped by 1 level. It tried to run away, but was stabbed into the ground by Yi Chen's sword attack. As it lost more and more blood, its physical strength started to run out. Eventually, it roared into the sky and exploded. Rumble. That horrifying chi wave blew away Yi Chen, who had backed out far away. After backing out not far away from the city wall, Yi Chen forced a smile. A rank 7 tyrant beast was only equivalent to a powerful mid-astral reaching realm warrior, but it had not reached the peak level yet. On the other hand, without the black flame, the sky demon snake's overall power was actually not as powerful as a rank 7 tyrant beast. However, Yi Chen still could not kill it within a short period of time. It was not hard to tell how powerful the sky demon snake was. Once it grew up, it would definitely become a tyrant among the rank 7 tyrant beasts. It would be powerful enough to fight against a peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warrior, and even a late astral reaching realm warrior would not be able to kill it easily. Yi Chen. Right then, a clear voice was heard from afar. Yi Chen turned his head to look, and a smile appeared on his face. "It's you guys. Long time no see." Yao Qing was surprised. "You still remember us?" "Of course." Chapter 312. After releasing the blood explosion spell, Yi Chen felt that the blood sunflower's medicinal power that was hidden in the deepest part of his body had completely disappeared. He felt a bit uncomfortable, so he shook his head and laughed. "It's been more than 4 years, and the 5 of you are still together." Lu Tao was obviously happy that Yi Chen did not ignore them. "If we are together, we will always be together, unless something unexpected happens." Luckily, other than some small conflicts, there were no accidents. Yao Qing was more beautiful than 4 years ago. Although she was not as pretty as the girls that Yi Chen had met before, such as Morong Qingcheng, Su Jing, Ji Xuan, Zhu Mei, and Yuan Xuemei, she was still a beauty. She was still wearing a red dress, and under the dress, her curvaceous body was filled with the vitality of a girl next door. She looked at Yi Chen curiously. "Strange, you don't even have 3 heads and 6 arms, why is there such a big gap between us? But the trick of the sword art that you taught me was really good. I am much better than others with the same sword art." Yi Chen smiled. At that time, he was a bit perfunctory. Of course, the method was right, but it was a bit stupid. "Greetings, Great Master." "Great Master, my name is Song Hai." "Great Master, what can I do for you?" While the 6 of them were talking, the disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School all ran over to greet them, causing Lu Tao and the other 4 to be dumbfounded. They were all the same age, but they were already great elders, and their status was even higher than the patriarch. "It is fate that brought us together. I don't have anything good to give you, but here are 5 bottles of pellets that are useful for training, which will help you break through." He was the great master of the Sky Cloud Martial School, and the leader of the Golden Light Martial School used to be a disciple of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Therefore, the 5 of them were technically his juniors, so it was not good to meet them empty-handed. Luckily, when Yi Chen was training outside, he had bought a lot of pellets. These 5 bottles of pellets were not that expensive for him, but they still cost 1,000 low-rank soul stones, which most of the outer masters could not afford. The 5 of them declined and accepted it. Anything that could make Yi Chen give it to them couldn't be bad. They had no reason to refuse. After bidding farewell to the 5, Yi Chen flew towards the Sky Cloud Martial School. Idle Cloud Peak. Cloud Dreamer looked at the black flower that Yi Chen took out and shook his head, indicating that he did not know the name of the flower. Thunder Freer looked confused, and said slowly, "Is this the Sky Demon Flower?" "Sky Demon Flower?" Yi Chen and Cloud Dreamer looked at Thunder Freer. Thunder Freer said, "I have heard people describe the Sky Demon Flower before, but I am not sure if it is. But if it is, then it would be shocking. The Sky Demon Flower is a supreme spirit medicine that is extremely rare in the world. According to the legends, it was made from the blood of the ancient Demon King, who was way more powerful than the current life and death realm warriors. He was not weaker than Su King, and his spirit blood was way more powerful than Su King's. His spirit blood had the horrifying effect of reviving people from the dead. As long as there was one breath left in the body, it would be able to heal completely. It was way more powerful than the so-called great healing medicine. I think the Sky Demon Snake and the Sky Demon Flower are only one word apart, but they are more or less related. Not many people knew about the Sky Demon Snake guarding the Sky Demon Flower. Sometimes, the Sky Demon Snake might not even show up with the Sky Demon Flower. Therefore, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer were obviously not as knowledgeable as the people from the super martial institutions. It was normal for them to not know about it. Can broken bones be healed? Yi Chen asked. Thunder Freer laughed. Of course, as long as there was one breath left in the body, it would be healed completely. Plus, it would make the body even more powerful. But, do not swallow it directly. The medicinal power of the Sky Demon Flower is very aggressive, and the backfire is even more horrifying. Only those who have trained the ancient Demon King's martial arts would be able to swallow it directly. Other people or demonic beasts could die from the backfire. I think this is also the reason why the Sky Demon Snake did not dare to swallow it. Otherwise, it would have swallowed it directly. Yi Chen nodded. Indeed, he had been wondering why the Sky Demon Snake did not swallow the Sky Demon Flower. Normally, once the spirit medicine that the demonic beasts were guarding matured, they would swallow it immediately in case something bad happened. However, the Sky Demon Snake did not do that. As for that ghost-faced demonic cow, it should have been attracted by the Sky Demon Flower. Unfortunately, it did not enjoy the effects of the flower, and died in Yi Chen's hands. If we do not swallow it, then how are we going to use the Sky Demon Flower? Absorbing its medicinal power from the outside should not be a problem. But, it is still a bit of a waste for the Sky Demon Flower to fall into our hands. Its true value is not only the medicinal power, but also the mystery it contains. After reaching the life and death realm, the Jin Yuan would have already merged with the flesh and blood. Every single drop of essence blood would have the trace of the ancient Demon King. For some of the powerful demonic warriors, a Sky Demon Flower could save them a lot of trouble, which is something that the medicinal power alone could not compare with. What a pity, what a pity. Thunder Freer shook his head. Yi Chen still did not know why the essence blood of the ancient Demon King would turn into the Sky Demon Flower, and how it had been passed down until now. But, he did not care about these things. No matter how mysterious the Sky Demon Flower was, it did not matter to him at all. All he needed was its medicinal power. Senior Cloud Dreamer, Senior Thunder Freer, you can each take a petal of the Sky Demon Flower. The Sky Demon Flower was extremely heavy. Yi Chen used his half-step Jin Yuan to cut off 2 petals with all his might, handing them to Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer respectively. Cloud Dreamer was shocked. You want to give it to us? This thing can only be found by luck. There are only 10 petals on one plant. Yi Chen said, since the Sky Demon Flower can heal the dead, it will definitely be useful in the future. The Sky Cloud Martial School still needs you two to control the situation. Yi Chen was telling the truth. In the future, when he was not in the Sky Cloud Martial School, the school would have to rely on the two of them. Without some life-saving means, he would not be able to rest assured. Alright then, I will keep it for you for now. Cloud Dreamer knew Yi Chen's temperament very well. There was no way he would take back something he had already given out. If he continued to decline, it would seem like he was treating him like an outsider. Leaving the Cloud Dreamer Mountain, Yi Chen arrived at Su Jing's mountain. Core Master Palace, Su Jing frowned, this thing can cure my arms? It should be right. You try it first. Yi Chen took out 3 petals and handed them to Su Jing, keeping 5 for emergencies. Alright. Su Jing held one of the petals in her hand. Her Jin Qi poured out through her meridians, sweeping towards the black Qi coming out from the petals. Crack! Vaguely, Yi Chen heard the sound of bones rubbing against each other in Su Jing's right arm. He scanned with his soul power and immediately found out that Su Jing's shattered bones were getting back together. At the edge of the bones, the black chi was like a magnet, attracting other bones towards it. It is indeed the sky demon flower. Its effect is so powerful. Yichen finally confirmed the name of the black flower. It was undoubtedly the sky demon flower that Thunder Freer had mentioned. Even if it was not, it could at least prove that it could cure broken bones. Su Jing seemed to be very surprised. Only the black chi from one petal had increased the recovery speed of her broken bones by dozens of times. Moreover, the broken bones and the flesh of her arms seemed to be even stronger and stronger after being infected by that chi. You take your time to recover. If it is not enough, I still have more. Yichen saw that the sky demon flower petal was effective, so he did not keep it anymore. Su Jing nodded and put away the other two heavenly demon flower petals. Walking out of the Core Master Palace, Yichen let out a breath. Su Jing's problem had been solved. Next, he could let go of everything and try to reach the 13th realm of his Green Lotus Sword spell and the astral reaching realm. Once he had achieved both of his goals, he was ready to go to the natural moat gorge and see if he could learn something from the Battle King's sword intent. He wanted to try to reach 90% of his sword intent, or even complete it. With the completion of his sword intent, he should be able to fight against Jin Huang, and would no longer be afraid of him. Once he made more progress, it would be the day that Jin Huang died. Inside the training room on the shocking Cloud Mountain, Yichen took out a sky demon flower petal and placed it on his palm. He pushed his half-step Xin Yuan, absorbing the medicine inside. Crack! Yichen could clearly feel that his body was getting tougher and tougher, and his bones were getting denser and denser. At the same time, the side effects of performing the blood explosion spell had disappeared as well. The effect was even more powerful than the 3,000 years old blood sunflower. However, the blood sunflower focused on the chi and blood, while the sky demon flower focused on the whole body. The two focused on different things. So, the blood sunflower was still not comparable to the sky demon flower in terms of replenishing the chi and blood. After a while, Yichen could no longer handle any more of the sky demon flower's medicine. His body had reached a limit. If he wanted to break through this limit, he would have to change his body training art or reach the astral reaching realm, which would increase his body quality drastically. However, his current body quality did not seem to be weaker than astral reaching realm warriors. Su Jing's body quality was basically a couple of times more powerful than normal astral reaching realm warriors. Putting away the sky demon flower petal, Yichen closed his eyes and focused on training the Green Lotus Sword spell. The Green Lotus Sword spell was a top-rank Earth Realm martial art. After reaching the 10th realm, the battling power would increase drastically with each realm. The difference between the 12th realm and the 13th realm was especially obvious. As for the 14th realm, Yichen did not dare to think about it right now, since the 14th realm would be a transformation. It would be able to combine the 9 Green Lotus Sword Chi into one even more horrifying Lotus Heart Sword Chi, which would definitely be more powerful than any of Yichen's sword attacks. Correspondingly, it would be even harder to break through to the 14th realm. The 13th realm of a top-rank Earth Realm martial art would be the limit. The 14th realm would be beyond this limit. The 15th realm would be the highest realm. Even Sea of Souls realm warriors might not be able to reach it. Once they reached this realm, battling beyond their realms would be no different than eating and drinking. Eating the rice bit by bit, Yichen cleared away all the distracting thoughts, preparing himself for the 13th realm. Time flowed like water, and there was no turning back. Ever since the Sky Demon Snake and the Sky Demon Flower disappeared, the beast wave that had been plaguing the Sky Cloud Martial School for thousands of miles had suddenly stopped. Only a few beasts were still active in the human area. Half a year later, the shocking Cloud Mountain where Yichen was at released a wave of intense sharp chi, which pierced through the clouds and attracted the attention of the whole Sky Cloud Martial School. Chapter 313. Is this the sign of a huge improvement in martial arts? Thunder Freer had heard about top-rank Earth Realm martial arts. After reaching the first or second level, every level up would bring about a horrifying phenomenon. Yichen trained the Green Lotus Sword spell, so it was natural that there would be some kind of sharp chi in the phenomenon. Cloud Dreamer shook his head. Not only has his martial arts improved, he is only one step away from the astral reaching realm. The second Jin Yuan refinement is about to end? Hearing him, Thunder Freer was shocked. Normal people who train top-rank Earth Realm martial arts would need at least 3 to 5 years to refine all of their Jin Qi into Jin Yuan. But, Yi Chen had only spent less than a year to refine all of his Jin Qi into Jin Yuan. This speed was way too horrifying. Cloud Dreamer said, martial geniuses are always the existence that breaks the rules. 5 months ago, Xikong Sheng had already reached the astral reaching realm, becoming the youngest astral reaching realm warrior in the South Ridra region in hundreds of years. Right now, it seems like this record is going to be broken by Yi Chen. Thunder Freer nodded. Xikong Sheng was a 22-year-old astral reaching realm warrior. If Yi Chen could reach the astral reaching realm in 3 months, then he would be a 19-year-old astral reaching realm warrior, which would only be 1 year later than the #1 martial genius of the whole True Spirit continent, Xianhou. Even in the whole True Spirit continent, he would be a famous warrior. His name would definitely be on the martial genius ranking. Yeah, there is no doubt about that. However, martial geniuses do not only have a fast cultivation speed. There are other reasons as well, such as the most important battling power and comprehensive ability. Of course, no matter how you look at it, Yi Chen is the top martial genius. Sooner or later, his name will shake the whole continent. Plus, right now, the more powerful he is, the safer he will be. If he does not have enough stamina, then it would be dangerous. While the two were talking, inside the training room of the shocking Cloud Mountain, Yi Chen slowly opened his eyes. The 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell, the second Jin Yuan refinement, is about to come to an end. Such a powerful feeling. It had been 2 years since the end of the Hidden Dragon rank competition. Yi Chen had been improving all the time. Every time he improved, it was a huge leap. However, none of them were as good as this time. Not only had he reached the first limit of the Green Lotus Sword spell, but he was also close to completing the second Jin Yuan refinement. With the combination of the two, his power had definitely increased tremendously. Unfortunately, he did not have a suitable training partner, otherwise, he would know exactly how much his power had increased. Chi! The fist that contained half-step Jin Yuan shot out, tearing a crack in the air. It was as fast as lightning and as heavy as a mountain. Half-step Jin Yuan, no, it should be fake Jin Yuan, its destructive power is not to be underestimated. That punch just now had not contained any sort of martial skill. Just by relying on fake true essence, it had been able to tear open a vacuum crack in the air. This was already infinitely close to the destructive power of true essence. With a wave of his hand, the door of the secret room opened wide. Yi Chen stood up and flew out through the passage. Idle Cloud Peak. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer were both there. Brother Yi, what's the progress this time? Thunder Freer laughed and said. The clouds moved away automatically, and Yi Chen landed on the peak. The two seniors should have already guessed it. Ha, your cultivation speed really makes me blush with shame, ashamed of my inferiority. Although Yi Chen called them seniors, they did not dare to treat him as a junior. They treated him as an equal. Cloud Dreamer waved his hand, and a nearby stone chair moved over. Then, he poured Yi Chen another cup of wine. Yi Chen sat on the stone chair and asked, has anything happened in the past half a year? Cloud Dreamer said, according to our people, Xikong Sheng had reached the astral reaching realm 5 months ago and became an inner master of the Floating Mountain Martial School. This had a huge impact. A lot of famous astral reaching realm warriors had gone to congratulate him, including the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, the Fire Man, and a great master of the Emerald Martial School. As for Xikong Sheng reaching the astral reaching realm, Yi Chen was not too surprised. He had already reached half-step Jin Yuan during the Hidden Dragon rank competition. After 2 years, he should be an astral reaching realm warrior. As for the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, Yi Chen had some doubts, Doesn't he need to stay in the Purple Sun Martial School? Thunder Freer forced a laugh. That old bastard fireman had also traveled in the South Ridra region before. He had met 4 powerful warriors. They were the Gold Spear Man, the Wood Man, the Lake Man, and the Mountain Man. The 5 of them had titles that contained the elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. They were called the 5 Nature Men. Not long after Sikong Sheng reached the astral reaching realm, the Gold Spear Man and the Lake Man came to the Purple Sun Martial School as guests and helped him stay there. 5 Nature Men. Yi Chen mumbled. Soon, our Sky Cloud Martial School will have 3 astral reaching realm warriors. Come, let's drink. Cloud Dreamer was not too worried about the power of the Purple Sun Martial School. One Yi Chen could fight against 2 or 3 astral reaching realm warriors. Plus, Yi Chen's potential was still far from exploding. No one knew how far he could go in the future. In the following days, nothing happened. Yi Chen had reached the 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell, and the second Jin Yuan refinement was about to end. Yi Chen did not need to go into closed-door training. Jin Yuan refinement was something that would happen naturally, and had nothing to do with comprehension ability. When the time came, he would naturally become an astral reaching realm warrior. After all, his foundation was there, so he would not be too slow. On this day, Yi Chen was comprehending the poetic perspective of clouds. After integrating the 6th movement of the sky-shattering clouds, Yi Chen felt a huge obstruction, as if there was an invisible barrier in front of him. The shocking cloud sword art has a total of 9 movements. After integrating the 6th movement, it would be equivalent to a top-rank Earth Realm sword movement. The 7th movement should be similar to the 2nd movement of the Green Lotus sword art. The 8th movement would almost touch the edge of a Heaven Realm sword movement. It would be the limit of the poetic perspective, the limit of the moves. I wonder how I can make it through. By now, Yi Chen had already understood that Heaven Realm martial arts were not something that could be learned with high comprehension ability. Without reaching that level, there would not be a point of convergence. Ho! Taking a deep breath, Yi Chen waved his sword and slashed out a sword path in the sea of clouds. The sword path was more than 1,000 meters long, which split open a short mountain in front of him. Thunder exploded, and clouds surged. My mastery of the poetic perspective is already not weaker than most of the astral reaching realm warriors. What I lack is accumulation. With enough accumulation, it would be a lot easier to comprehend. It seems like only by going out to train would one be able to grow faster. Staying in one place would have some limitations after all. Everything needed a process of accumulation. Even a top martial genius would not be able to truly grow without enough accumulation. It was like an extremely smart person. If he or she had not studied for a few years and experienced a lot of things, then he or she would not be able to fully utilize his or her intelligence. He or she would have to rely on his or her brain to do some smart things. No need to rush. My martial arts are still above my cultivation. There is no need to rush. Putting his Star Scar sword back into its scabbard, Yi Chen's mood was as calm as still water. I, the fireman, have arrived. Why is no one coming out to greet me? Are all the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School dead? In front of the Sky Cloud Martial School, dozens of human shadows flew over. The 2 leading people had a very powerful aura. The one on the right had an unbreakable aura, while the one on the left had a very aggressive aura. It was indeed the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, the fireman. In the main mountain palace, Luo Xinglia's expression changed. He said to the headmaster, "Gather all the masters here." The Sky Cloud Martial School and the Purple Sun Martial School were enemies. However, since the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School had come in person, it was reasonable for them to treat him with respect. This was the rule between the martial schools, and the Sky Cloud Martial School could not break it. Yes. The headmaster looked serious. Soon, all the masters had gathered in the plaza in front of the palace, including the 6 core masters including Su Jing. In front of the plaza, dozens of human shadows landed. The leading fireman looked to be in his 60s. His face was red and healthy. He looked around and smiled, "Not bad, at least you are polite." The group of masters made a path, and Luo Xinglie walked out. He held his fists together and said, "I did not know that the fireman was coming. Sorry for not coming out to meet you. Where is that old bastard Cloud Dreamer? Tell him to come out and see me. You do not have the right to talk to me." The fireman glanced at Luo Xinglie and said lightly. Hearing him, all the masters from the Sky Cloud Martial School stared at him with anger. Luo Xinglie was the leader of the Sky Cloud Martial School. He was the face of the Sky Cloud Martial School. What? Do you think you can look down on me just because you have a big backer? I don't know what that master is thinking. But believe it or not, even if I destroy the Sky Cloud Martial School, he will not show up. The fireman saw it more clearly than anyone else. Although Jin Huang was scared away last time, he was not from the Windy Nation after all. He represented a super martial school like the Floating Mountain Martial School. He was clearly bullying the weak. The Purple Sun Martial School and the Sky Cloud Martial School were both top 5 martial schools in the Windy Nation. There was no such thing as bullying the weak. The fireman did not believe that the powerful master would help the Sky Cloud Martial School. Fireman, you are showing off in the wrong place. The Sky Cloud Martial School is not a place where you can do whatever you want. The Cloud Dreamer flashed his body and appeared in the plaza. The fireman glanced at the Cloud Dreamer. If I want to show off, do you think the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School would be able to stand still like this? The Cloud Dreamer sneered, if the Sky Cloud Martial School is not doing well, then the Purple Sun Martial School will be done for. You are so full of yourself. The middle-aged man in gold sneered. I wonder who this is. The fireman said proudly, this is the Gold Spear Man, the VIP of the Purple Sun Martial School. The Gold Spear Man was in his 50s. His face was light gold, and his body was huge. He made a face. I thought the Sky Cloud Martial School would have some powerful warriors, but it is only a peak-level early astral reaching realm warrior. Fireman, you have not destroyed the Sky Cloud Martial School after all these years. You are too kind. Ha! If it were not for the others, how could the Sky Cloud Martial School be so arrogant? Now, there is no one in the Purple Sun Martial School. A killing intent flashed through the fireman's eyes. The Gold Spear Man chuckled. He glanced at the masters of the Sky Cloud Martial School casually. Suddenly, his eyes brightened, landing on the inner master Zhu Mei and the core master Su Jing. Fireman, you did not say that the Sky Cloud Martial School had people like this, especially that woman in white. She is rare even in the South Rudra region. The Gold Spear Man licked his lips. The Cloud Dreamer saw that these two people were acting like they were his own family, and did not care about them at all. He looked a bit gloomy. However, thinking that they would not come here for no reason, he suppressed his unhappiness and asked, I wonder why you two are here. If there is nothing, please leave. The fireman said, of course I am here for something. But, is this how you treat your guests? You want us to talk in the square? This way, please. Luo Xinglie lifted the corner of his mouth. Ha! The fireman waved his sleeves and walked in the front. The Gold Spear Man walked side by side with him. When they passed by the crowd, he glanced at Su Jing on purpose. There was an evil light shining in his eyes. Chapter 314. In the main mountain hall, the main seat was empty. The left side of the hall was occupied by Cloud Dreamer and Luo Xinglie, while the right side was occupied by the fireman and the Gold Spear Man. The rest of the people were outside. The fireman took a sip of the tea slowly and exchanged a look with the Gold Spear Man. He said slowly, don't say that I did not take care of your Sky Cloud Martial School. This time, I came all the way here to show you enough respect. Unfortunately, some people do not know what is good for them. Cloud Dreamer frowned, waiting for the fireman to continue. Putting down the teacup, the fireman said, "Our intelligence team from the Purple Sun Martial School has found the nest of the corpse man." "What? The nest of the corpse man?" Cloud Dreamer's expression changed. The corpse man was one of the 108 ghost warriors from the Nine Ghost cult. He was very famous for killing people. It would not be wrong to call him the Old Monster. Countless powerful warriors from the top 5 martial institutions of the Windy Nation had died in his hands, including a couple of astral-reaching realm warriors. So what? After all these years, the corpse man's power should have recovered to its peak. Plus, with his special power, even all of the astral-reaching realm warriors in the Windy Nation combined would not be his opponent. Although the corpse man's battling power was the lowest among the 108 ghost warriors, he had the power to create zombies. With 3 to 4 rank 7 zombies attacking together, even astral-reaching realm warriors who were more powerful than him would not be able to handle it, and would be killed easily. His name was very famous, and people called him the Corpse Man. "Since I am here, of course, I have the confidence to kill this old monster." The fireman looked like he was going to win as he continued, "Back in the days when I was traveling, I met 4 friends who had the same goal. Right now, 2 of them are here. One is the Gold Spear Man, and the other is the Mountain Man. Unfortunately, the Lake Man and the Deadwood Man could not come. Otherwise, with them here, killing the Corpse Man would be as easy as pie." Cloud Dreamer glanced at the Gold Spear Man. He could naturally tell that the latter was the same as the Fireman, also a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. According to the rumors, among the 5, the Deadwood Man was the most powerful one, being a late astral reaching realm warrior. He knew an ancient martial art called the Deadwood Palm Spell. Judging purely on battling power, he might not lose to the Ghost Man. Although the Lake Man was not as powerful, he was still a peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warrior. However, no one would dare to underestimate the Ghost Man's ace attack, the rank 7 zombie warrior. "How did you know about the nest of the Corpse Man?" Cloud Dreamer stared at the fireman without blinking. It was not that he did not trust him, but it was because the Sky Cloud Martial School had been set up way too badly back then. His brother disciple Wu Yunzi had died because of that. He did not have any proof, but he was sure that the Purple Sun Martial School had something to do with it. The fireman sneered, "It is up to you whether you want to believe it or not. If the 9 Evil cult wants to grow stronger again, they will need a lot of resources. The top 5 martial institutions control more than 80% of the resources in the Windy Nation, and there are no other powerful martial institutions around. In their eyes, we are just a piece of meat without any defense." Cloud Dreamer's expression changed a couple of times. The fireman was right. If the 9 Evil cult wanted to make a comeback, they would need a lot of resources. But they were hiding in the dark, and could not take all of the resources in public. Once they showed up, they would be attacked by all of the powerful parties in the South Rudra region. Therefore, they could only do it secretly, not daring to show their faces. Although they could get a lot of resources from some lone warriors, those resources would not be enough to support them for a long time. The resources in the Windy Nation seemed to be nothing special, but it was still a nation after all. The resources of a nation would be more than enough to support the development of the Ghost Corpse Mountain. Plus, it would not be that dangerous. He believed that there would also be other small nations with the 9 evil cult's remaining members, so the Windy Nation would not be the only one. If they did not attack first, when the Corpse Man decided to attack, one martial institution would not be able to handle the invasion of the Ghost Corpse Mountain. The problem was that the fireman's words could not be trusted completely. First of all, he was the first one to know about the location of the Corpse Man's nest, which was already suspicious. He was not like his brother disciple Wu Yunzi, who had been able to stay in the Sky Cloud Martial School for so many years and watch the development of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Then how do you think we should deal with it? The Corpse Man is not easy to deal with. Being able to survive that big battle years ago, it is already enough to prove how powerful he is. Cloud Dreamer did not know if he should accept it or not. If he accepted it, he might be ambushed by the fireman. He did not believe that there was nothing wrong with it. If he did not accept it, then the Corpse Man would indeed be a big problem. Who knew when he would decide to attack the Sky Cloud Martial School first? Although the Sky Cloud Martial School had martial geniuses like Yi Chen, who was able to kill the Sky Demon Snake with only half-step Jin Yuan, the Corpse Man was a late astral reaching realm warrior. He was a cunning demon. Added with all the rank 7 martial zombies, his overall power was only above Jin Huang's. No one in the Windy Nation would be able to fight against him. Without a choice, the Cloud Dreamer threw the topic back to the Fireman. The Fireman nodded, indeed. The Corpse Man is indeed a troublesome existence. Therefore, I had immediately informed all the martial institutions and asked everyone to join forces. We will kill the Ghost Corpse Mountain and the Corpse Man as fast as lightning, so that he would not have the time to react. You mean, to combine all the astral reaching realm warriors in the Windy Nation? Cloud Dreamer understood what the Fireman was trying to say. Only astral reaching realm warriors would be able to kill them at such a fast speed. Warriors below the astral reaching realm would be slowed down a lot. The Fireman stared at the Cloud Dreamer. What do you think? The Cloud Dreamer thought for a while, then said, how about this? Wait until everyone is here, then we will discuss. Sure. 3 days later, I will see you on the Green Beauty Mountain. By then, all the astral reaching realm warriors from the top 5 martial institutions will be there. The Cloud Dreamer's answer was within the Fireman's expectation. He then said, this time, all the top 3 astral reaching realm warriors from the Purple Sun Martial School will be there. You will not be the only one from the Sky Cloud Martial School, right? Of course not. If it is confirmed, there will be 2 astral reaching realm warriors from the Sky Cloud Martial School. Oh? Which 2? The Fireman squeezed his eyes. Although he did not think that Yi Chen would be able to reach the astral reaching realm in a short period of time, but it was better to be safe than sorry. If Yi Chen really did reach the astral reaching realm, then some of the details would have to be changed. He just hoped that things would not be as bad as he thought. Me and the Thunder Freer. The Thunder Freer was not a secret in the Sky Cloud Martial School anymore, so the Cloud Dreamer was not afraid to say it out. I heard that Yi Chen has not reached the astral reaching realm yet, but he already has the power to fight against astral reaching realm warriors. Why don't we bring him along as well? This time, killing the Corpse Man would be a great opportunity. Hearing him, the Fireman let out a breath. Judging from his expression, Yi Chen should not have reached the astral reaching realm yet. A smile appeared on his face as he said. The Cloud Dreamer's face sank. You don't have to worry about that. Ha! He has the power to fight against an astral reaching realm warrior before reaching the astral reaching realm. It is most likely just a rumor. I, the Gold Spear Man, do not believe it. Even if we bring him along, he would only be a burden. The Gold Spear Man said with a disdainful expression. The Fireman took a sip of tea casually, seeming to want to hear how the Cloud Dreamer would respond. The Cloud Dreamer did not change his expression and said, you can try if you have the chance. If you two do not have anything else to say, you can leave now. Since the owner has asked us to leave, then we should not stay. Brother Gold, let's go back first. The Fireman did not plan to stay any longer. The Gold Spear Man stood up with the Fireman. He glanced at Su Jing, who was standing outside the palace. He suddenly opened his mouth and said to the Cloud Dreamer, I do not have a wife yet. I think that master from your Sky Cloud Martial School is not bad. She is qualified to be my wife. I wonder if I, the Gold Spear Man, would have the honor. Both the Cloud Dreamer and Luo Xinglia did not look good. This Gold Spear Man was way too arrogant. He really thought that he was invincible. Plus, Su Jing and Yi Chen had a close relationship. Whoever dared to touch her would probably be killed by Yi Chen. Don't even think about it. The Cloud Dreamer did not look happy at all. The Gold Spear Man had a creepy smile on his face. I suggest you guys think about it. I am not like the Fireman, who is kind. The Cloud Dreamer yelled, don't push it too far. The Sky Cloud Martial School is not a place for you to do whatever you want. Brother Gold, the road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. Why do you have to rush it? What is yours will be yours eventually. The fireman did not expect the gold spear man to be this eager and say this in front of everyone. He could only try to comfort him, telling him to take it slow. The road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. Not bad. I, the gold spear man, am definitely going to have this woman. The gold spear man laughed and walked out of the palace with the fireman, who allowed you to leave. Right then, the crowd split apart and someone walked over. It was none other than Yi Chen. Yi Chen was wearing a blue robe with a long sword on his waist. He stood 10 steps in front of the two quietly. His eyes landed on the gold spear man and the fireman. The fireman glanced at Yi Chen and noticed that he was still at the Jin Yuan refining stage. A strong killing intent flashed through his mind as he said with a smile on his face, "Not bad. You have already reached the Jin Yuan refining stage at such a young age. You are not that far away from the astral reaching realm. However, you are not that talented. Before a martial genius grows up, you should be more patient. Do not ruin your own life. So you are Yi Chen. You are nothing special. What? Do you think you can stop us? I will give you a chance. Slap yourself 4 times. Otherwise, I will teach you a lesson today." The gold spear man did not care about Yi Chen at all. If it were not for the fireman warning him to be careful of powerful warriors helping him, he would not have talked much with him. He would have just killed him directly. Things are different now. The Windy Nation is no longer a place where you can call the shots. If you had come here and left just like that, I would have let it go. Unfortunately, you think too highly of yourselves. As long as I, Yi Chen, am here, there is no place for you to mess around. In Yi Chen's plan, the Purple Sun Martial School was the place he had to go. Although the assassination before did not really hurt him, it did not mean that he did not care about it. Seeing the situation, Cloud Dreamer wanted to say something, but he swallowed it back down. He knew Yi Chen's personality very well. Since he had stood out, there was no need for him to go back. Plus, these two were indeed too arrogant. The only thing that worried him was how powerful Yi Chen's battling power was. 2 powerful mid-astral reaching realm warriors would not be a joke, especially this gold spear man who had just appeared out of nowhere. He gave Luo Xinglia a look and took a couple of steps back. He planned to leave the situation to Yi Chen, and the others should not interfere. I, the gold spear man, have been out there for so many years, and this is the first time I have seen a young warrior talk to me like this. Brat, you are the first. The gold spear man laughed out loud. His whole body shone with a golden light which was extremely pure, carrying an unbreakable aura. Senior Cloud Dreamer, I will kill this guy. There was no emotion on Yi Chen's face. He had already known about what had happened in the palace. If he had guessed it right, there must have been some kind of conspiracy. Facing a conspiracy, his way of doing things was different from normal people, which was to kill as fast as possible. He would kill as many as he could, since he would have to kill those people from the Purple Sun Martial School sooner or later anyway. As for the mission of killing the corpse man, he would not miss out on it. Chapter 315. Yi Chen, you are too arrogant. The fireman's face suddenly darkened. He had come to the Sky Cloud Martial School, obviously not for the sake of the Sky Cloud Martial School. In his eyes, even if Cloud Dreamer knew that there was a conspiracy, he would not be able to refuse this mission. Since he could not refuse, then his plan was already half a success. Therefore, he did not care what Cloud Dreamer was thinking at all. Bringing the Gold Spear Man was just to suppress the Sky Cloud Martial School, to let them know that in terms of top battling power, the Sky Cloud Martial School could not compete with the Purple Sun Martial School. So what if he was arrogant in the other's territory? No one could do anything to him. However, he had never thought that Yi Chen would come out and ask them to stay, and even kill the Gold Spear Man. How reckless! Did he think that the powerful master behind him would protect him all the time? Geniuses were geniuses because they could grow in adversity. If the powerful master behind him wanted to train a genius, then he would not protect him all the time. Otherwise, there would be no adversity. He was confident that if he killed Yi Chen now, nothing would happen to him. Lai Hua, there is no need to say so much. Since this brat wants to die, then don't blame me for being merciless. Today, I will kill this brat and take this woman away. Sky Cloud Martial School, who dares to stop me? Who dares to stop me? The Gold Spear man's killing intent surged, his face was filled with disdain. Everyone from the Sky Cloud Martial School took a deep breath. Looking at the situation, Yi Chen and the Gold Spear man seemed to be at each other's throats. They hoped that Yi Chen would be able to defeat the Gold Spear man, otherwise, if Yi Chen lost or died, it would be a disaster for the Sky Cloud Martial School. Die! All of a sudden, a golden spear appeared in his hand. His Jin Yuan exploded as he thrust the spear towards Yi Chen, who was 10 steps away. The tip of the spear created a thin vacuum crack in the air. I'll take your dog life in 3 moves. Clang! As Yi Chen's voice was heard, the Star Scar sword was taken out of its scabbard and pressed against the tip of the golden spear. Rumble! There seemed to be an earthquake. The entire main hall of the main peak and the entire square shook violently. Terrifying shockwaves erupted and radiated in all directions. Cloud Dreamer stood in front of everyone, trying his best to block the shockwave. Whoosh! After blocking the Gold Spear man's attack with one sword attack, Yi Chen suddenly jumped up into the sky. The main mountain of the Sky Cloud Martial School could not withstand the attacks from the two of them. It was not an ideal place to fight. Where are you going? Gold Spear Sanren followed closely behind, the golden spear in his hand pierced out at a speed invisible to the naked eye, bursting out hundreds of spear lights. Each spear light was equivalent to an attack of 60% of his strength. Hundreds of spear lights pierced out at the same time. There was no way to escape, no way to retreat. The first move. Flying into the sky, Yi Chen stopped his body. 80% of his sword intent had been infused into his Star Scar sword, attacking towards the Gold Spear man with his sky-shattering clouds. The moment he swung his sword, the wind blew, the clouds churned, and lightning crackled. It split apart the hundreds of spear lights with an unstoppable force, and under the horrified gaze of the Golden Spear loose man, it ferociously attacked. He actually split apart hundreds of my spear lights. Gold Spear practitioner was caught unprepared and quickly raised his spear to block. There was a loud bang. In everyone's sight, the Gold Spear man had been blown away by Yi Chen's first sword attack, looking extremely embarrassed. Impossible! He has obviously not reached the astral reaching realm yet. How could his battling power be this powerful? The fireman, who was standing on the ground, was shocked. He was very clear about the Gold Spear man's power, which was definitely not weaker than his. Although he was still in his normal condition without burning his Jin Yuan, he could still fight against an early astral reaching realm warrior when he was burning his Jin Yuan, not to mention Yi Chen, who had not even reached the astral reaching realm yet. He had always thought that Yi Chen was just a normal early astral reaching realm warrior. As for Yi Chen killing the Sky Demon Snake half a year ago, it was not that he did not know about it, but there were too few people who knew about it. Most of them thought that the Sky Demon Snake was just a slightly more powerful rank 7 beast, which misled the fireman. In the sky hundreds of meters away, the Gold Spear man's eyes were red. He was a mid-astral reaching realm warrior, but he had been blown away by Yi Chen, who had not even reached the astral reaching realm yet. It was something that he could not accept. The Jin Yuan inside his body rubbed against each other, and a golden flame appeared. The Gold Spear man, who was covered in fire, yelled, "Today, you will die for sure. Gold Snake Break." As he threw out a spear attack, a golden snake-shaped spear light shot out along the spear body, traveling at an extremely fast speed. The horrifying gold mentality had given the snake-shaped spear light the ability to break through anything. The air had been pierced through, and the space cracks kept appearing, providing the snake-shaped spear light with an environment to increase its speed. Whoosh! A blood-red fake Jin Yuan exploded from Yi Chen's body. The fake Jin Yuan was not that much different from the real Jin Yuan. The only difference was that it could not be burned, which increased his battling power by several folds. However, the minor blood demon body separating great art had also increased Yi Chen's battling power to more than 50%. Combined with his 80% sword intent, he was no weaker than the Gold Spear Man, who was burning his Jin Yuan. Besides that, he had trained the top-rank Earth Realm martial art, Green Lotus Sword spell, and had trained it to the 13th realm, which was something that the Gold Spear Man could not compete with. Green Lotus Sky. Around the Star Scar sword, countless red lotuses formed by sharp chi flow blossomed. The lotuses rose up one after another, following Yi Chen's attack and disappearing into the surreal space. The air had been frozen, and the snake-shaped spear light was getting slower and slower. It was like a poisonous snake going against the current, unable to increase its speed. The Gold Spear Man, who was behind it, was also trapped in this area, looking shocked. Shoo! Shoo! In the air that was as calm as a lake, countless green lotuses turned into sword chi and shot out, landing on the snake-shaped spear light like a storm. Waiting until the spear light was shattered, the rest of the sword chi attacked towards the Gold Spear Man like a swarm of bees. Ding! Dang! Dang! The Gold Spear Man had trained the gold element Jin Yuan. In terms of pure defense, it was even more powerful than the earth element Jin Yuan. Although the sword chi was aggressive, it still could not break through his protective Jin Yuan layer. The third movement, Die. The Green Lotus Sky was the first ace movement of the Green Lotus Sword art. It could be separated into two movements. One was the Green Lotus Sky, which was mainly used for restraining, and the other was the Green Lotus Accumulation, which was used for killing. The fist-sized Green Lotus shot out, instantly landing on the Gold Spear Man's protective Jin Yuan layer. Pooh! The protective Jin Yuan layer was broken open, and the Green Lotus pierced through the Gold Spear Man's chest, bringing out a straight stream of blood that stretched for dozens of meters. This is impossible. There is no way I will die. The Gold Spear Man did not even know what had happened until he died. He did not know why Yi Chen had the power to kill him, and it was even within 3 movements. He had been traveling in the South Rudra region for so many years, but he had never encountered something like this. Otherwise, he would not have underestimated Yi Chen. Putting his Star Scar sword back into its scabbard, Yi Chen said lightly, I have said that I will kill you within 3 movements, and I will kill you within 3 movements. No matter how many mid-astral reaching realm warriors there are, it will be the same. He dared to kill the Gold Spear Man and ignore the Fire Man and the 5 Wanderers. Naturally, he had his own power, and it did not come from his power. His real power had not been revealed yet, and there was no need for him to do so in front of everyone. The people on the ground were all shocked. Chapter 316. Yi Chen's power in the Sky Cloud Martial School was known to be extremely powerful, even more powerful than Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. However, they had never seen Yi Chen kill any mid-astral reaching realm warriors. They did not know how powerful a mid-astral reaching realm warrior could be. Judging from the power that the Gold Spear Man had released, he was definitely a mid-astral reaching realm warrior, which was way beyond what an early astral reaching realm warrior could compete with. However, he still could not last 3 attacks from Yi Chen, and was killed within 3 attacks. Killing an enemy that was 2 realms higher than him. Yi Chen is getting more and more horrifying. Lu Hanshan and Zhu Mei took a deep breath as they looked at each other. Su Jing's tightened body finally relaxed. She was planning to join hands with Yi Chen to fight against the Gold Spear Man when he could not handle it anymore. However, it seemed like it would not be necessary anymore. Plus, even if she went up, it would not make any difference. Although the Sky Demon Flower had healed her completely and improved her body, the opponent was a mid-astral reaching realm warrior, who could wound her badly with a flick of his finger. A smile appeared on Cloud Dreamer's face, then he forced a laugh and turned his head to look at the fireman. The fireman's face was almost twisted as he yelled, Yi Chen, how dare you kill the Gold Spear Man? How dare you? Flashing his body, Yi Chen landed on the main plaza. Right now, piss off. Otherwise, I will kill you as well. Only the fireman knew where the corpse man's base was. Yi Chen knew that he was up to no good, but he could not kill him right away. He planned to play along and see what kind of tricks he had up his sleeves. Before this trick was exposed, killing the fireman would only make things more complicated. The fireman's anger was stuck in his chest, and he could not let it out. His face turned red. Cloud Dreamer was afraid that Yi Chen would really kill the fireman. Although he wanted to kill him as well, before the corpse man was taken care of, it would not be appropriate to kill the fireman. Right then, he did not know what he was feeling, so he tried to persuade him. Fire, a wise man knows his limits. You cannot win against Yi Chen. If you stay, you will only get yourself killed. Right now, the corpse man is the most important thing. I will see you on the Blue Mountain in 3 days. Who? After taking a couple of deep breaths, the fireman tried his best to suppress his anger as he said coldly, good, very good. Yi Chen, I will remember you. Yi Chen looked at the fireman coldly. When his eyes opened and closed, the sharp light was like a sword. Together with his emotionless face, it gave the fireman a terrifying pressure. He was sure that if he kept talking, Yi Chen would kill him immediately, without giving him any chance. Let's go. Waving his hand, the fireman brought the dozens of people from the Purple Sun Martial School and flew out of the main mountain of the Sky Cloud Martial School like dogs that had lost their homes. Yi Chen, isn't this a bit too cruel? Cloud Dreamer wasn't criticizing Yi Chen for killing indiscriminately. He just felt like the timing was not good. Hiding the sharp light in his eyes, Yi Chen said calmly, if we have to kill, then we should kill. At least one enemy has been removed, which would reduce the threat. Staying here would only bring harm to our Sky Cloud Martial School. Yi Chen's words were not unreasonable. Cloud Dreamer did not want to talk about this anymore. Yi Chen, let's go to my Cloud Dreamer Mountain. We will discuss the plan. All right. The two of them arrived at the Cloud Dreamer Mountain one after another. Thunder Freer walked up to them, good job. Let them down a bit. Otherwise, they would think that everything is under their control. Thunder Freer had seen everything that had happened on the main mountain clearly. He was also a person who would kill if he had to, so he thought that Yi Chen was right for him. Cloud Dreamer smiled and told Thunder Freer what had happened. He then said, the corpse man's base is in the Windy Nation. Whether it is true or not, we cannot ignore it. How do you think we should deal with it? I think we should send a few people there. Yi Chen said, the Sky Cloud Martial School has to have someone guarding it. That is a must. But who will be guarding it? Thunder Freer thought for a while, how about we let Yi Chen guard it? He is more powerful than us, so he would be able to take care of it. If even he cannot take care of it, then we would not be able to take care of it either. Let's take a step back and say that if things get really bad, it should not be a problem for us to escape. Of course, this is the worst-case scenario, and the possibility is very low. Meanwhile, Cloud Dreamer and I will join the fight against the corpse man and face the fireman's evil plan. I would like to see what kind of tricks he has up his sleeves. Hearing him, Cloud Dreamer was a bit moved. He had thought the same before. Yi Chen shook his head, 2 seniors, you will guard the Sky Cloud Martial School. I will join the fight against the corpse man, Yi Chen. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer both looked at him. Yi Chen explained, we have to be careful of the fireman. But I think his main target is not the Sky Cloud Martial School, but the astral reaching realm warriors of the Sky Cloud Martial School. 2 seniors going would be perfect for him. Although I cannot guarantee that I will be able to shatter their evil plan, but in a dangerous situation, escaping would not be a problem. But you have not reached the astral reaching realm after all. Wouldn't it be a bit inappropriate? Cloud Dreamer was a bit hesitant. He obviously knew about Yi Chen's power, but the fireman's evil plan would not be that simple. He would not feel comfortable letting Yi Chen take the risk. Thunder Freer nodded. Yi Chen laughed, actually, I can reach the astral reaching realm anytime I want. What? The two did not quite understand what Yi Chen meant. With a thought, a crystal-clear and condensed pseudo-Jin Yuan appeared outside of Yi Chen's body. If observed carefully, one could see that more than 99% of the pseudo-Jin Yuan had been covered by the broken light. Only a small part of it had not been refined yet. It was a sign that he was about to reach the astral reaching realm. I only need one more vibration, and I will reach the astral reaching realm. Refining Jin Yuan was not a natural process. Instead, it required the warrior to vibrate his half-step Jin Yuan to extract the essence and remove the impurities. If the warrior did not do it on his own, then he would be stuck at this stage for a long time. One more vibration, and I will be able to extract the Jin Yuan and reach the astral reaching realm. Thunder Freer gasped. To be honest, he had never heard of a martial genius like Yi Chen before. Not only would he be able to reach the astral reaching realm within a year, the most important thing was that he was able to control the timing of the breakthrough. The others would have to work so hard to reach the astral reaching realm, afraid that they would be too late. Yi Chen, on the other hand, did not reach the astral reaching realm first, but waited for the critical moment to reach the astral reaching realm. No matter how you looked at it, he was a complete monster, a monster that could scare people. I, Thunder Freer, would not believe that this guy did not make it big. Thunder Freer was shocked and excited at the same time. His blood was boiling. Cloud Dreamer frowned and said, Yi Chen, it is not that I am doubting your control, but you know, this is not something you can be careless about. If you make a mistake, then your life will be in danger. Putting away his fake Jin Yuan, Yi Chen said confidently, Senior, don't worry. I could have reached the astral reaching realm a week ago, but after thinking about it, I have decided to stay at this stage for now. After he had finished his closed-door training, he had heard about the fireman and the 5 wanderers from the Purple Sun Martial School, which had alerted him. Therefore, in the next half a month, he could have reached the astral reaching realm, but he had chosen to give it up. Seeing how serious Yi Chen was, Cloud Dreamer had to believe him. He thought about the ancestors of the Sky Cloud Martial School and wondered what had happened to the Sky Cloud Martial School to have such a genius like Yi Chen. Someday, when he becomes the dominator of the true spirit continent, you will all be able to smile in the afterlife. I, Thunder Freer, have to admit that in terms of training speed, you would be able to beat me in the South Rudra region. Thunder Freer finally knew what a top martial genius was, and Yi Chen was one of them. Xikong Sheng, Yan Qihua, they were only top martial geniuses. Senior, you are flattering me. The reason why Yi Chen was able to reach the astral reaching realm so fast was not only because of the influence of the Dragon Fountain Qi, but also because of the Green Lotus Sword spell. After reaching the 10th realm, each realm would be more powerful than the previous one. Reaching the 13th realm would already be an extreme limit for one's training speed. In fact, even Yi Chen himself could not imagine the power of the 13th realm. It was 2 different levels compared to the 12th realm. Not only had his battling power increased drastically, he had beaten the Gold Spear Man in 3 attacks, and his training speed had also reached an unimaginable speed. In fact, in the South Rudra region, being able to train a top-rank Earth realm martial art to the 11th realm at the Clasping Yuan realm would already be considered a top martial genius. Reaching the 12th realm would be extremely rare, and there would only be one Xikong Sheng in a few hundred years. But reaching the 13th realm would only be a monster like Yi Chen. It should be known that even for astral reaching realm warriors, top-rank Earth realm martial arts were extremely hard to train. There were not many people who could reach the same realm as Yi Chen at the late astral reaching realm. As for the 14th realm, one would basically have to reach the Seas of Souls realm to reach it. The 15th realm was said to be breaking through the barrier of Heaven realm martial arts, which even Seas of Souls realm warriors might not be able to reach easily. Therefore, Yi Chen's achievements in martial arts alone were already equivalent to the top astral reaching realm warriors, which would increase his battling power by quite a bit. As for why he was able to train the Green Lotus Sword spell to the 13th realm, Yi Chen himself knew it the best. As he had learned more and more martial arts, the comprehensive ability brought by the fusion of his 2 souls had been fully utilized, and his martial talent had improved drastically. Thinking about the time when he was training the mysterious great art, He had spent 1.5 years to reach the 11th realm, which was the highest realm. And the 11th realm of the mysterious great art was only equivalent to the 9th realm of the Green Lotus sword spell. Sometimes, Yichen really wanted to know where his limit was. Thousands of miles away from the Sky Cloud Martial School, the fireman was flying with a group of people from the Purple Sun Martial School. Damn it! The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. Unable to control the anger that was about to burn, the fireman threw out a palm attack on the mountain next to him. Boom! The top half of the mountain had been blown away. The destructive power of a mid-astral reaching realm warrior was obvious. Yichen, just you wait. This time, I will kill all of the astral reaching realm warriors in your Sky Cloud Martial School. As for you, don't even think about living. I will kill you first, then the Sky Cloud Martial School, and then the Yi family. I will kill all the men and sell all the women to the brothel. I will make your Sky Cloud Martial School and the Yi family slaves forever, never to be born again. This was the biggest shame of the fireman's life. The Gold Spearman, who was one of the Wild Five with him, had been killed by Yichen right in front of him, and he had been kicked out of the Sky Cloud Martial School. He had lost all of his face. His whole life's face had been lost just like that. Great Master, let him be arrogant for a while. A little impatience would ruin the big plan. An inner master of the Purple Sun Martial School said bravely. Boom! After killing his opponent with one palm attack, the fireman said with his teeth bared, "Who asked you to teach me a lesson? You are looking for death." Seeing that, the others felt a chill down their spines, not daring to say anything more. Chapter 317. 3 days later, with Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer guarding the Sky Cloud Martial School, Yichen went to the Blue Beauty Mountain alone. The Blue Beauty Mountain was located 3,000 miles north of the Purple Sun Martial School in the Lanha mountain range. It was not that tall, but it was very pretty. On top of the Blue Beauty Mountain, the fireman and a middle-aged man in gray robes were sitting on a stone chair next to a stone table, drinking wine. This Yichen has to die for sure. He dares to challenge us, the Wild Five. The middle-aged man was still very angry. He tightened his hand, and the wine glass shattered. The fireman squeezed his eyes. Don't worry, Brother Mountain. He will not live for long. Brother Gold will not die for nothing. The middle-aged man in front of him was indeed one of the Wild Five, the Mountain Man. His name was Yu Mountain, and he was even more powerful than the fireman and the Gold Spearman. He was the third most powerful warrior among the Wild Five. His earth element Jin Yuan was extremely rich, and he was very good at attacking. The Mountain Man stayed silent for a while, then suddenly said, "Is he really that powerful? He has not even reached the astral reaching realm yet, but he was still able to kill Gold with 3 attacks. Although Gold is not as powerful as me, if I want to win against him, I would need at least dozens of attacks. Killing him would be even more difficult." The fireman said, that day, Brother Gold was more or less careless. He did not even use his most powerful ace attack. But that brat should not be underestimated. He even knows the minor blood demon body separating great art, which can increase his attacking power by more than 50%. The minor blood demon body separating great art is a secret art that burns chi and blood. He must have some rare medicine on him. Pausing for a while, the Mountain Man said again, "After this mission, we need to make a plan to kill him right away. Once he reaches the astral reaching realm, even late astral reaching realm warriors might not be able to stop him. If he escapes, then none of us will have a good life." "Yeah." The fireman nodded heavily. Yi Chen's threat was increasing day by day. Right now, even he was not his opponent. If he waited for Yi Chen to reach the astral reaching realm, then the success of his plan would be greatly reduced, which was not what he wanted to see. Brother Lai Hua, I haven't seen you for many years, but your charm hasn't decreased at all." In the distant sky, 2 human silhouettes swiftly flew over. The leading one was a man who was about 60 years old, with a muscular body and a muscular waist. He was wearing an emerald golden robe. The man beside him was about the same age as him, but looked much thinner and weaker. He had a trace of scholarly aura, which made him look quite similar to the leader of the Emerald Martial Palace, Zhuang Qingxian. The fireman stood up and greeted them with a smile. "Brother Pang, Brother Zhuang, you two have been training in the Emerald Martial Palace for so many years. It is so rare for me to see you." These two were none other than two of the top 3 great masters of the Emerald Martial School. The one with a strong body was the #1 warrior of the Emerald Martial School, Pang Nia, who was at the peak of mid-astral reaching realm, only one step away from reaching the late astral reaching realm. The one with a scholarly aura was the father of the leader of the Emerald Martial School, Zhuang Qinghe, who was at the peak of early astral reaching realm. The other one was not here, probably because he had chosen to guard the Emerald Martial School. The two landed on the Bishio mountain. Pang Nia looked at the mountain man and said, "Is this the mountain man from your 5 wanderers? Nice to meet you." The mountain man did not dare to underestimate Pang Nia. Judging from his powerful chi, he was obviously a half-step late astral reaching realm warrior. It seemed like it was not without reason that the Emerald Martial School was able to dominate the Windy Nation for hundreds of years. He held his fists together and laughed. "I am flattered. I have always heard about how powerful Pang Nia from the Emerald Martial School is. Now that I have seen you in person, you are indeed powerful." "Haha, Brother Fire, you are flattering me." Pang Nia did not care about it and asked, "Have the other martial institutions confirmed yet?" The fireman nodded. "There will be 2 people from the Rudra Martial School, 1 from the North Snow Martial Academy, and 2 from the Sky Cloud Martial School. They are Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer." Speaking of the Sky Cloud Martial School, the killing intent and haze flashed past his eyes, but he hid it very well. It is not strange for the Rudra Martial School to send 2 people, but why would the Sky Cloud Martial School send 2 people as well? Did no one stay behind to guard the school? Pang Nia was a bit surprised. He had witnessed the rise of the Sky Cloud Martial School in the past couple of years, so he had been paying a lot of attention to the school. The fireman said with a low voice, "Brother Pang, I am afraid you do not know yet. The new great master of the Sky Cloud Martial School, Yi Chen, was able to fight against mid-astral reaching realm warriors when he was only at the Jin Yuan refining stage. This time, I went to the Sky Cloud Martial School to remind them, but I did not expect that Yi Chen had not liked our Purple Sun Martial School for a long time. Not only did he say something rude, he even took the opportunity to kill my good friend, the Gold Spear Man." Hearing him, Pang Nia and Zhuang Qinghe's faces looked a bit gloomy. Yi Chen's rise was way too fast. Before, they did not think that he would be a threat to them, so it was a mistake to ignore him. Pang Nia sneered, "It seems like it is time to teach the Sky Cloud Martial School a lesson. I have let them grow for the past couple of years, and now they really think that the Windy Nation is their territory." Of course, he would not believe everything the fireman had said, but Yi Chen's threat was undeniable. If the Emerald Martial School wanted to keep their dominating position in the Windy Nation, he would not show any mercy. "This place has a nice view. I hope I am not late." While they were talking, a wave of ice-cold chi spread out. A couple of miles away, a white shadow appeared out of nowhere. The white shadow's body art was combined with his blade art, which was unstoppable. Pang Nia turned his body, facing the direction where the white shadow was coming from. He said with a faint smile, "Lin Shuihan, after 10 years of training, your blade art has reached the next level." Shoo! The white shadow landed on the ground. It was a middle-aged man wearing a long white robe. He was in his 50s, and his face was skinny and angular. His palms were huge, but there were no calluses on them. Once he landed on the ground, the ice-cold chi disappeared immediately, and he turned into a normal human being. Impressive. I have underestimated the astral reaching realm warriors from the Windy Nation. The middle-aged man in white was only at the mid-astral reaching realm, but in the mountain man's eyes, he was no less threatening than Pang Nia. There seemed to be an unstoppable blade chi hidden inside his body, waiting to be unleashed. The middle-aged man in white laughed, there are only 2 astral reaching realm warriors in our North Snow Martial Academy. Therefore, I had to come here alone. You must not be too busy, right? Of course not. As long as you are here. The fireman laughed. Pang Nye smiled lightly. Brother Lin alone is more than enough to take on 2 people. I wonder how much of your blade intent has reached. Lin Shuihan said, I am not that talented, only 70%. The blade intent was just like the sword intent. The higher the level, the harder it was to learn. Especially after the entry level of the blade intent, every little bit of improvement would be extremely difficult. Lin Shuihan being able to learn 70% of the blade intent when he was only at the mid-astral reaching realm was already quite impressive. Most of the astral reaching realm blade artists who had learned the blade intent would only be around 50 or 60%. Right now, there were 3 people in the North Snow Martial Academy who had learned the blade intent. One was him, one was the leader of the academy, Xue Wuren, and the last one was Lynch. Xue Wuren was a late bloomer, so he was currently at 50% of the blade intent. On the other hand, Lynch was catching up. In the 1 year after the Hidden Dragon rank competition, his blade intent had reached 40%, and his overall battling power had reached beyond Xue Wuren. I heard that Yi Chen from the Sky Cloud Martial School had revealed 70% of his sword intent during the Hidden Dragon rank competition. It was indeed shocking. Lin Shuihan said. The fireman could not help but say, he has reached 80% sword intent. Oh! Pang Nye and Lin Shuihan both looked at him. This guy is way more horrifying than you can imagine. If you underestimate him, you will die a horrible death. The fireman took advantage of the fact that everyone did not want to sit and watch the Sky Cloud Martial School develop, so he told them the truth on purpose. This way, there would be less obstacles when they carried out their plans in the future. Pang Nye remained silent. No one knew what he was thinking. Lin Shuihan was still calm and at ease. The serious atmosphere did not last long before the people from the South Rudra Martial School arrived. The South Rudra Martial School trained a water martial art. When they pushed their speed to its limit, layers of water-like ripples appeared in the air, which was extremely pleasing to the eyes. In everyone's sight, a man and a woman, who looked to be in their 40s, flew over. May I know who you are? The South Rudra Martial School had a special status, and they had a powerful background. For all these years, no one had ever seen the great master of the South Rudra Martial School show up. Therefore, no one knew who they were or where they were from. Pang Nye could not help but ask. The man and the woman landed on the ground. The middle-aged man said, Xiaoheng, this is my wife, Long Yu. Nice to meet you too. No one dared to be rude. They all held their fists together to greet them, including the mountain man. Although he did not really care about the top 4 martial institutions of the Windy Nation, he had heard from the fireman that they could not touch the South Rudra Martial School. If they did, no matter how powerful they were, they would not be able to escape death. After a moment of silence, the mountain man said unhappily, how come the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School are not here yet? We can't keep waiting for them here, can we? Xiaoheng said, what if we wait a little bit longer? The mountain man made a face. The fireman and Pang Nye's expressions both darkened. Senior Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer had something to do, so they could not come. I have come on their behalf. Right then, a clear voice was heard from the Green Mountain. Everyone looked up. Yi Chen, who was wearing a blue robe, was flying in the air at an extremely fast speed. It is him. The fireman froze for a second, then he was overjoyed. He did not plan to kill Yi Chen right away. He only planned to kill the 2 astral reaching realm warriors first. However, he did not expect that Yi Chen would join the mission to kill the corpse man himself. Therefore, the mission to kill Yi Chen could be brought forward. God is helping me. The fireman and the mountain man looked at each other, a smile that was hard to notice flashed past their faces. It was the first time Pang Nye had seen Yi Chen from the front. He sneered, you are that Yi Chen, the rare martial genius of the Windy Nation. The blue shadow disappeared, and Yichen appeared in front of everyone. I am not a martial genius. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer are afraid of death. They asked you to go to the front line. It seems like they do not care about you at all. Pang Nia looked at Yichen. Although his chi was powerful, it was not as powerful as the fireman had described. He thought to himself. At the same time, there was a hint of killing intent. He did not believe that the fireman did not have a plan this time. Perhaps, he could take advantage of the fireman's plan and get it over with once and for all. Yichen glanced at Pang Nia and the fireman. He was expressionless as he walked up to greet the two great masters of the Rudra martial school. Chapter 318. Pang Nia sneered and said to the fireman, "Brother Fire, since everyone is here, let's discuss the plan to deal with the corpse man." The fireman nodded and said, "Everyone, although there are 8 people from the top 5 martial institutions, the corpse man is not that easy to deal with. His cultivation is at the late astral reaching realm, and we would need at least 3 mid-astral reaching realm warriors to keep him occupied. Plus, there are 2 or 3 rank 7 zombie warriors in his nest. I will not say much about the zombie warriors. Judging from their battling power, they might not be as powerful as all of you here, but their defense is extremely powerful. Without a powerful attack, we might not be able to kill it. Instead, we might be exhausted to death. Besides that, the corpse man also has 4 warriors in white. They seem to have no physical bodies, and are extremely creepy. They are all at the early astral reaching realm." Lin Shuihan said, "So, we have just enough people." The great master of the South Rudra martial school, Xiao Heng, said, "Just enough, which means it is very dangerous. If there is one more astral reaching realm warrior on the corpse man's side, the situation will be very unfavorable for us." Xiao Heng's wife, Long Yu, nodded, "Indeed. Our breakthrough point was the zombie warriors. After killing the zombie, we would then kill the 4 warriors in white, and then we could join hands to kill the corpse man. But the situation might not be as good as we thought. If there is one more astral reaching realm warrior on the other side, they might be able to find a breakthrough point from us. Fire, is this your plan?" Although Pang Nia and the fireman had the same goal, it did not mean that he did not care about his own safety. Who knew what kind of plan the fireman had, and whether or not he would be included in it? The fireman laughed, "Don't worry, everyone. My good friend, the lake man, will meet with us tomorrow. This way, there will be 9 of us. If there is no change on the corpse man's side, it will be easy to kill him. Even if there is a change, we still have enough power to deal with it. If worst comes to worst, the 9 of us can join hands and escape from the corpse man's nest." The lake man, one of the wild 5, "I heard that there are 2 people who have come to the Purple Sun Martial School this time. One is the mountain man in front of us, and the other one is the gold spear man. Where is he? With him, the chance of winning will be even higher." Lin Shuihan suddenly said. The fireman's face darkened as he glanced at Yichen. Yichen's expression did not change. "I killed him." "You killed him?" Xiao Heng and his wife, as well as Lin Shuihan, were quite surprised. Yichen's cultivation was only at the purifying Jin Yuan stage, which was still a small distance away from the astral reaching realm. Meanwhile, the gold spear man's cultivation had already reached the mid-astral reaching realm. There was a huge realm and a small realm difference between the two. Under normal circumstances, Yichen would not even be able to hurt the gold spear man's hair. The few of them were shocked. The number 1 martial genius of the South Rudra region was way more powerful than they had imagined. Since he's dead, then that's another matter. "Brother Lihua, when are we leaving?" Lin Shuihan didn't intend to blame Yichen and directly skipped over this matter. The fireman said, "Let's not waste any more time. Let's go today. Things might change if we delay." "I have no objections." "Me neither. Since that's the case, let's go." As astral reaching experts, they did not like to talk nonsense. Once they had decided on something, they would immediately carry it out. Above the clouds, the fireman said, "The corpse man's nest is right under the ground on the west side of the Devil Grassland. There is a lake there. No wonder we had not found it after all these years. It was hiding under the ground. The Devil Grassland is huge. Without luck, we would not be able to find it." The Green Beauty Mountain was 20,000 miles away from the west side of the Devil Grassland. With the speed of the astral-reaching realm warriors, although they would be able to get there in 4 to 6 hours, it would be extremely dangerous to hunt down the corpse man. Going at full speed would definitely affect their condition. Therefore, everyone only maintained half of their normal speed. On the way, they bumped into the Lake Man, one of the 5 wanderers. The Lake Man looked like he was in his 50s. He was wearing a blue robe, holding a fan in his hand. His temperament was quite similar to Zhuang Qinghe. With his powerful soul power, Yi Chen could see a hint of viciousness flashing through his eyes. It was evil and cruel, which was definitely not as elegant as he looked. After 8 hours, everyone had arrived at the west side of the Devil Grassland. In front of them was an endless stretch of lakes. Some of them were big, some were small. Some were gourd-shaped, some were like water snakes, and some were round. "We are here." The fireman was the first to land next to a lake. The great master of the South Rudra Martial School, Xiaoheng, said hesitantly, "I wonder where the entrance is." "The entrance is right under this lake." The fireman pointed at the lake in front of them. "Under the lake?" Pang Nye sneered, "This corpse man sure knows how to find the right place." He had set the entrance under the lake, covered with mud. It is almost flawless. Let me check out the environment under the lake. The great master of the South Rudra Martial School, Long Yu, was still a bit worried. She pushed her Jin Yuan and waved her palm over the water in front of her. Something shocking happened. A swirl suddenly appeared on the surface of the water. It slowly stabilized and floated in the air, looking like a whirlpool water mirror. "Turn!" As Long Yu's palm moved, the whirlpool water mirror kept changing its direction. In everyone's eyes, the scenery under the lake could be seen clearly through the mirror. The fireman gasped. The martial art trained by the great master of the South Rudra Martial School was indeed unimaginable. Although he still did not know how powerful it was, judging only by its mysteriousness, there seemed to be no other martial art that could compete with it. It was almost close to the Sea of Souls realm master-level martial artists. The Lake Man's heart skipped a beat. He had also trained a water-type martial art, and the water-type Jin Yuan inside Long Yu's body made him very excited. If he could make her his mistress, it would be such a great thing. Unfortunately, he could not afford to offend the power behind her, so he would need to think about it further. "I will have you sooner or later." The Lake Man was different from the Gold Spear Man. He liked those middle-aged beauties who were still attractive. Long Yu looked like she was only in her 40s, but because she had trained a water-type martial art, she looked very attractive. Her skin was not any weaker than young girls in their 20s. Added with that special aura of hers, she would be his ideal prey. If there was someone who had seen through the whole situation the best, it would be Yi Chen. From the beginning to the end, he had not said a single word. He had been watching with cold eyes. The Lake Man's expression was very vague, but unfortunately, he could not hide anything from Yi Chen. He could not help but sneer inside. People from the South Rudra Martial School were not idiots, so they must have some backup plans. The leader of the South Rudra Martial School was even more mysterious. Messing with her would only result in death. "Alright, I will finish it here once and for all." Yi Chen did not expect to kill the corpse man easily. In fact, he knew that it would not be that easy. But, for him, killing the fire man, the mountain man, and the lake man would not be that hard. If the two great masters from the Emerald Martial School also wanted to do something to him, then he would kill them together. It was not because he was very confident in himself, but because of his own power. Today, he was not the same as before. Everything he had learned was top-rank Earthrealm martial arts, top-rank Earthrealm sword art, top rank Earth Realm movement art, top rank Earth Realm movement art, kill heart sword and sky shattering clouds were his ace attacks, and the 80% sword intent was his biggest weapon. It was one of the reasons why he could fight beyond his cultivation. Plus, he could step into the astral reaching realm anytime he wanted. With this kind of power, not to mention peak-level mid-astral reaching realm warriors, even if it was a late astral reaching realm warrior, he would not be afraid. After all, even the inner masters of the rank 6 martial institutions did not have a top-rank Earth Realm martial art, not to mention the Corpse Man top-rank Earth Realm martial arts were extremely rare in the South Rudra region. Even all the rank 6 martial institutions would only have a couple of them. He believed that no matter how powerful the 9 Ghost cult was, it would still be impossible for everyone to have one. The 108 Ghost Warriors were only equivalent to the core masters of a rank 6 martial institution. All these advantages had made Yi Chen not afraid of the Fire Man's evil plan. Even if it did not work out, with his separating shadow flying art, it would not be a problem for him to leave this place. There is no danger. The water mirror disappeared as Long Yu shook her head. Then let's go down. The Fire Man suggested. The underwater environment was not a problem for everyone. Even mortal realm warriors could stay underwater for a long time. Not to mention that everyone here was an astral reaching realm warrior, who had the power to fly in the sky and dive into the ground. Normal natural environment would not be able to stop them at all. Opening up his fake Jin Yuan layer, Yi Chen followed everyone into the water. Piss off! Not long after they entered the water, a huge underwater beast approached them. It was killed by Pang Nia with one palm attack, and its dead body was thrown out of the water. The fireman controlled his excitement and said with his Jin Yuan, "The entrance is over there. Everyone, follow me." After he finished talking, he took the lead, using his red protective Jin Yuan layer to sneak in at an extreme speed. He was as fast as a ghost, like a flickering lamp in the water. Soon, they found the Corpse Man's nest. At the bottom of the lake, on the side of a huge rock mountain, there was an entrance that was covered with water plants. As the plants were shattered, the entrance could be seen clearly. It was around 10 meters wide and led straight down. It looked like a tunnel to hell. Under the protection of their Jin Yuan layer, everyone did not care about what was in front of them. If it were not for the fact that they were afraid that the Corpse Man would hear them, they would have been able to break in with brute force. It would be a piece of cake for them. Who? The Fire Man was the first to sneak in, followed by the Mountain Man and the Lake Man. "Let's go in as well." Xiaoheng and Long Yu glanced at Yi Chen. Among everyone here, only Yi Chen was on their side. Yi Chen nodded and smiled. "Seniors, I will go in first." Since the Green Lotus sword spell was a martial art trained by sword artists, Yi Chen's fake Jin Yuan was extremely sharp. It was unbelievably fast under the water. When the water in front of him touched his fake Jin Yuan layer, it was like it had been cut in half by the sword qi. It did not pose much of a resistance at all. Pitch black, everywhere was pitch black. There was no light at all. No one knew how deep the entrance to the Corpse Man's nest was. Everyone could only feel that they were getting further and further away from the lake. The surroundings were strangely quiet, without any noise. Splash! After an unknown amount of time, everyone reappeared on the water surface. However, it was not the original water surface, but the underground water surface that was connected to the lake. You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.